Hello, Ludley. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
And welcome to the Legal Growth Podcast, where we dive into strategies, challenges, success stories, shaping the future of law firms. I'm your host, Aaron Fulk, and together with Legal Growth Partners, we are going to bring you in-depth conversations with top legal professionals, industry innovators, and firm leaders. Our goal is simple: share practical insights, innovative strategies, and real-world advice to help your law firm scale, adapt, and thrive. Whether you're navigating growth challenges or looking to boost your business development, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. This week, I'm super excited. Our guest is Ledley Jennings. Super excited to have you here on a Friday and everything.
Yeah, this makes for a great Friday.
It's kind of fun. So here's the deal. I'm just going to ask you some quick questions. I think that our audience would love to just learn kind of all about you and kind of your journey. So we'll make the first one simple. Just give me a quick overview of how you chose to get into law and how you chose your specialty of law.
Yeah, I never wanted to be a lawyer, but I went to business school and wanted to get into investment banking, but I couldn't get a job. So I was like, well, I might as well get a law degree. And then it worked. Got into investment banking for about 3 years and then decided I wanted to move focus and do something that actually brought value to people and kind of have a purpose. So from there, I got into estate planning, and that's what I do now. It's just estate planning and elder law specialty.
So how did that correlate? Because investment banking, I mean, it makes sense, but how did you realize estate planning was like the space for you?
Yeah, I saw the trend as, they call it the gray tsunami. A lot of baby boomers are retiring and passing on wealth. So I knew it was an area that was going to be in high demand, and it flowed well with my investment banking experience because I had to get all the securities licenses. And now I use that because I tell clients I use the law to make and protect you money. And that's kind of where the investment banking comes in, because I know a lot about the advising space and security space. And now I'm able to mesh that with the legal side.
Oh, that's so interesting. Isn't it crazy how the life works out sometimes?
Yeah, it is.
So what has been your biggest growth success story so far in your career?
I guess probably revenue wise, I put down a 5-year projection when I started this firm about 2.5 years ago, and we're going to hit that number this year. So it happened a lot quicker than I thought. But what is kind of unusual about it is I operate in a rural area. We kind of have a satellite office where my hometown is a small town, about 10,000 people, but that's where my business is. And then I live in the big city of Arkansas, Little Rock. So I kind of have a 2 satellite office, and I didn't really know how the rural area would be accepted with kind of a specialist rather than a general practitioner. And that kind of amazed me because I'm the only lawyer there that just says I will only do estate planning. We get people come in wanting a divorce or DWI or something. I'm like, no, I don't do that. I just do estate planning. And that was kind of nerve-wracking because no other attorney in the area was taking this approach.
Do you feel that is fascinating? Because I would have kind of had the same concerns as you, but do you feel like because you've specialized so much that the other attorneys are now referring their estates to you?
Yeah, they do that a lot, especially on the more complicated cases, which is the ones I want. So, higher net worth. So we're seeing a lot of that referral, but it keeps me from getting backlogged because the real problem with small town practice is they're doing a little bit of everything. And so you can't take on new clients, but I know exactly what I'm focusing on. And we have a system for estate planning. So I'm able to just take on client after client whenever other attorneys are having to turn clients away.
That's very interesting. I would have had those same concerns, but I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite non-legal skill that surprisingly, I guess, as you kind of overlook it, you're like, I never knew that would help me out so much in running this firm?
Yeah, I didn't know sales was going to be such a big deal. I never thought of myself as a salesman. And really, I finally just got the process down where I realized I'm actually selling a product. And it taught me how to package something. And no matter what you're selling, you have to give the client a process for why it's going to help them and how you're going to deliver the best product for them. So it taught me how to really package everything and market myself to clients and potential clients, because really everything is sales. And now I feel like I could go sell, anything, like sell a car if we packaged it right, just because I've sat in 100 meetings over the last 2 years, repeating the same stories and getting really good at it, seeing what works, what doesn't work. But so I guess I would say sales, but I don't like calling it sales because you have to believe in what you're selling and you have to actually sell a product that will help people. And luckily for estate planning, the way I'm offering the product is I know for a fact it's what they need and it's going to be a valuable thing for them.
Do you feel like it's made you more getting into some of that more uncomfortable stuff? Because you said originally I never thought of myself as a sales guy. Do you feel like now you kind of see yourself just stepping into more uncomfortable positions all the time because you already challenged that, like maybe going into a networking room and you'll talk to whoever?
Yeah, most of my marketing, my most successful is doing seminars. And that is something I never thought I would do. I used to get so nervous speaking, and I probably still would if I'm talking about something else, but I do one seminar a month and I love it. And it's like a different person when I get up there and start talking estate planning, like somehow I get a sense of humor. I don't know. So it's interesting.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so looking ahead, 2025, we're almost in 2026, has been a crazy year of changes. What trends or changes do you see shaping the future of law firms, and how are you positioning your firm to stay competitive while everything's changing every day?
Yeah, and estate planning is really changing. On the positive side, with AI and everything, I'm able to scale a lot quicker without attorneys and staff. You can do a lot more, a lot efficiently with just software and processes. So that's a good thing. Now, on the bad thing is there's a lot now of financial advisors that are offering estate planning. They're drafting documents with software companies that are out there and charging a fee to do it for their clients. So it's a lot of what I think is unauthorized practice of law. And that's historically where I get most of my clients is referrals from advisors, but now they're starting to bring that in-house. So we're having to shift how we do business and, where our offerings are. Because why would clients pay me, $3 or $4 grand for a trust when their advisor is going to do it for free? At least it looks like for free to them. So
yeah, how do they do that legally? That's interesting. The software
yeah.
is not a legal piece?
Yeah, there's a few main players, wealth.com, Trust and Will, and Vanilla. And basically the advisors buy a seat in those software companies, and then they can send the link to their clients that fill out forms, and then that software company produces the documents. But most advisors don't really charge a fee for that. They just include it in their AUM fee that they have clients. So they're not actually drafting the documents, but we talk about this a lot with estate planning. It seems a lot like unauthorized practice of law, but it's just the way things are heading. So we're having to change how we do business to compete with that.
So and you're in Arkansas and I'm in Kansas, and in Kansas, the county I live in, they actually have you have to document that any AI was used at all when you're filing something with the court or anything. Are there anything like that in Arkansas yet? I know Missouri side there's not yet.
I don't think so. I haven't heard that. I know we have a AI committee with the Bar Association that's doing a lot of research into that, but I have not heard that you have to document that yet. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, Johnson County in Kansas, I think it's one of the first, but it'll be interesting to see. And then how does that play into that financial piece? Do they have to do that?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that still need to be figured out and coming down the line, because really with that is no one's left holding the bag with the estate planning. If something goes wrong with the documents, the software company says, hey, you weren't a client of ours, we just produced the documents. And the financial advisor saying, well, I'm not an attorney, I didn't draft these documents. So it's who's really responsible for them.
Right. So you just need to go to an estate attorney.
Exactly. Someone that wakes up every day and thinks about nothing but estate planning, which is, I guess, fun for some people.
We all have our own kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to throw you one more question I didn't tell you about. But what is the number one piece of advice you would give someone thinking about going into law?
I would say start your own business. I love it. And it just forces you to get out on your own. You have to stand behind everything you do, everything you learn. So you're going to learn the law better than you would if you were at a big firm. You really have to trust in what you're building. And then when you're doing that, seek mentorship. I join every kind of mastermind there is that are people who have built what I want to build. I try to learn from them. So I would say do that for sure.
Well, that is amazing advice. Follow the people that have already been there where you want to go. Well, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on the Legal Growth Podcast presented by Legal Growth Partners. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, drop us a review, and share it with your colleagues because great insights are even better when shared. For more tips and tools to help grow your practice, visit legalgrowthpartners.com. I want to thank you so much for coming on, Ludley. And until next time, keep innovating, keep growing, and keep smiling. We'll see you same time, same place.